Hello. So I am back to do my take on lemonade, my little review on lemonade, my opinion about lemonade. Now, if y'all are not convinced that Beyonce is a witch yet or practices magic, hoodoo, voodoo, then y'all are blind as a bat. Okay, and if you haven't seen lemonade yet, I'm gonna try to put the link below so y'all can go watch it and y'all can come back here. Okay, so first off, I'm gonna start off by saging my camera, getting all the haters away, all the people that think they know everything away. Bye. Also, I want to get rid of the people who are going to come here and talk about Jesus. I want y'all to go too, because this is not about that. This is about the breakdown of the video. Okay, so I'm sorry if I've offended anyone, but don't bring it here. Okay, bye, peace, adios. Okay, so I had to do that, you know. So this is gonna be a little lengthy, so get your tea, get your coffee, get your Starbucks, get your orange juice, whatever you got to get it. Because Beyonce went in on her video, her visual album. It was released on HBO. And I was trying to switch back and forth between Prince on Saturday Night Live and the Lemonade. So I'm like, okay. I tried to watch both. I did a pretty good job, I think. Lemonade came on like 50 times, so I got to see the whole thing. So let's start off. Lemonade. What does lemonade mean? Lemonade is when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. It's basic alchemy. Turning lead into gold. Turning something sour into something sweet. Turning something of no value into something very valuable. Okay, so she took her heartache, her issues in her marriage, her issues in society as a celebrity, she took her issues up with, you know, the treatment of black women, the police brutality of young black males. She took all of that and she threw it all together. Okay, and I think it was a really good work. Okay, so let's start off where she came out. She was walking in a little pasture, a field, and blah 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 blah, and then she goes like into this song, and like first off you're like, oh my god, is she talking about Jay-Z? Oh my god, Jay-Z's cheating on her, you know, oh my god. Then she jumps off a building and then she goes into water. This means she was like on the verge of breaking down, wanting to die, but the water represents a spiritual enlightenment or a spiritual journey. So instead of, you know, killing herself, dying, going into depression, she jumped into her spirituality. She jumped into, you know, all these different spiritual aspects. She probably, when she talked about fasting, not looking in mirrors, wearing white, those are spiritual rituals, okay? Especially in some sorts of witchcraft and religions such as voodoo or voodoo. So she basically was saying that instead of focusing on my husband and my marital problems, instead I refocused myself to my spirituality, to a spiritual path, and I grew and I learned, and I took everything my grandmother taught me, and I took everything that I learned off my spiritual journey, and I come to this conclusion. Alchemy. She says, I'm the fire breathing dragon and the lion. Those are alchemical symbols for creating, from turning lead into gold. This is one of the aspects of alchemy. That's why every time y'all ask me, what book do I need to get? I always say, Idiot's Guide to Alchemy. Because with alchemy, you can transform any situation in your life to make a profit. Okay? And I'm not lying. Okay? So she's basically very much into alchemy. She channeled Oshun, which is one of the African Orisha, and she's over the water and hurricanes and all that kind of stuff. So when she had on that yellow dress and she grabbed that baseball bat and started bashing windows and she broke open that yellow fire hydrant, you know, Oshun's colors are yellow. And she's like creating all this havoc and hurricane and you know, the water and, you know, but in a fun way, you know. And she's like, she's the destroyer and she also the nurturer, you know. The sea, the water can destroy as well as nurture. So at that point she was mad and she was just, you know, letting her rage be shown. And she's channeled a lot of Oshun in this video by walking in the water. She was channeling Mami Wata, or you know, she could have been channeling Yemaye on that part when she went to the ocean, or Oshun, because they're related. They're supposedly sisters. And I'll show you my little statue of Yemaye or Yemaya. She is a mermaid goddess, an ocean goddess as well. And yeah, that's what she looks like. So I'm pretty sure Beyonce is working with her African Orisha now, probably for a long time, but everyone thought she was satanic and evil because she didn't, you know, worship Jesus anymore. But you have to realize that Jesus was not our original deities and not our cultural deity. So she went back, and then she had all these black women, and it looks like she had bought like a old plantation, and she had like this big gathering of all the black women, and she was showing how, you know, how different we all look, you know, mixed, light skin, dark skin, all walks of life, and different, you know, skins and hair types. She was kind of trying to hint on colorism and how we're all from the same, you know, place. And even though we were separated by colorism and all that kind of stuff on the plantation, that we should not let it, you know, destroy, you know, the relationship between women. And there's so much in that video. I mean, when she talked about menses and she was going down the red hall, and she was talking about blood magic, using the menstrual cycle blood in her magic to try to keep her husband this way. And it also could have meant that, you know, she was blaming the moon for her period and this and that, and why do we do this? And, you know, she was embracing her womanhood, but also she was upset at it because sometimes a lot of guys, you know, they won't do anything while you're, you know, menstruating. Maybe he cheated on her while she was menstruating. I don't know. You know, it's too cryptic to really see if she's talking about him, or if she was, you know, trying to talk about men in general. I'm sure it was layered in both ways. But then she was talking about skinning his side chick and wearing her skin and hands and, you know, teeth as confetti, and like, now we can all take a picture together and you can have your perfect woman. So she went very dark in this, which I like. She went so dark. She let everyone know she's not afraid to go into the darkness and come out and, you know, forgive and to do all of this stuff. But there is a lot of magic in that. There is a lot of tribal, African, hoodoo, voodoo, all of that. She has basically said, look, these are my roots. This is where I'm from. This is what I do. My daddy was a magician. You remind me of a magician, talking to her husband. I come from a long line. My grandmother conjured. You know, she's telling y'all she's a witch, and it's a good thing. I know people were confused on my last video, where is it good or bad? It's good, okay? She's not confined by the religion that was given to her by any type of slave master or anyone who you know, forced it upon her own ancestors. She's like free of that. And I think that's what she was talking about when she was talking to her mother on that visual video, and she was like, Mom, do you get on your knees every day? Do you worship? I'm not talking about your husband, or am I talking about your husband or your father? Now, she could have meant like God or Jesus or something, or she could have meant like her literal father. But then she shows this clip of this lady talking about Jesus. Oh, you got to turn to Jesus. You got to turn to Jesus because you don't got nowhere else to turn to. She was pointing out how that's all that some black people have, some, you know, poor people have, is Jesus, because they weren't given anything else, and they remain that way because they're stuck and they don't have anything to turn to, so they have no other choice. But she was just showing the different aspects of people and how some of them are just, you know, wrapped up in that, and how, you know, other women are free and, you know, able to express themselves through their cultural spirituality, you know. And she had Trayvon Martin's mom on there, Mike Brown's mom on there, and a couple of more mothers on there who had lost their children from police brutality. She also had the little girl that played Annie. I forgot her name. It's like Quavajane. I forgot her last name. But she had her on there, and she had the little the twins that sing her song on YouTube, Chloe and this other girl. I forgot the other twins' name. I'm sorry. And she had Zendaya on there. She had Abea. She had a bunch of other, you know, she had Serena Williams twerking. So she showed all, you know, the females and black females, and she showed how much power she had, how much influence she has, you know, and how she wants to unite in formation, you know, all the women, you know, in the culture, and stand up and do what's right. And then there was this scene where they were all sitting on the stairs, like just staring. And that scene was to black men, like, we're waiting on y'all to do better, okay? Y'all need to get it together. And then in one of her songs, she was like, big homie needs to grow up. You know, basically, you're a grown man, you're older. She's talking to Jay-Z. You're a grown man, you're older than me, and you still acting like a child. What's it gonna take? You gonna lose your wife? You know? So basically, it was a warning, a spell, a binding spell, a curse, all in the same video. When she came out of that house and it was burning, and she looked like the devil, and she had on red, and she had the little tips of her jacket pointed up like horns, and then she had all the other ladies behind her. She's like, I'm the devil, I'm God, I'm the ancestors, I'm the angel, I'm the spirit. I can cause havoc in your life, or I can bless you. Which one it's gonna be? Okay, that's what she's like. So all the little, like, in the plantation where you would see all these people in white dresses here and there, and like those represented the ancestor spirits that are watching her and helping her. Okay, she's working with ancestor magic. So she's got ancestors watching everywhere. You know, she's like, I see you. I got my ancestors. They're in my corner. Mess with me again, and I'm gonna show you what some Southern Creole voodoo hoodoo magic can do. Do you still like your career? I'm gonna forgive you. I'm gonna give you one more chance. But remember who I am. You know, God complex. She said she had a God complex. So she gave him another chance, and she says, if we're gonna heal, let it be glorious or whatever. So he must be like shaking, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna be in your video. And she must have a good binding spell on him, because he's in that video where she's publicly dissing him and calling him a liar and a cheater and calling out his side chick and all that stuff. But yeah, she is practicing magic. All of that symbolism in there was a lot. I mean, the white dresses, the pride and, you know, natural hair, the plantation, you know, she's deeply rooted. You know, the problems of today are you know, still deeply rooted into that era, you know, into slavery. Our minds are still enslaved. A lot of people's minds are still enslaved because of that era. And she's you know, she gives honor to her dad for teaching her stuff and not lying to her. And, you know, she calls out how her dad, you know, abused her mom. She did a lot of stuff. And it is so much to break down. I would literally have to make like a 12 video series, which I'm not going to do. But I would like y'all to put down what y'all think and what you would like, you know, to focus on and what it meant. Like, if you don't know what something meant, put it down in the comments and I'll try to answer it, or I'll try to make a video and go deeper into certain aspects of it. But most of it was basically saying, hey, look, I'm a witch, I practice magic, I've gotten into my spirituality, I don't care what you think, I'm calling out my husband, I got spells on him, I will kill the side chick, I will you know, not basically kill the side chick, but I will do something to her and she won't know what's coming. You know, and I like the one about the stripper. She praised the great whore, and she was like, yeah, she's in this for the money. She's, you know, I think it was called 6-inch heels. And she was like, you know, giving props to women who use, you know, their sexuality because they know that, you know, it can profit them, turning is like lemons into lemonade, you know. She honored every aspect of woman, from the whore to the you know, inspirational, to the athlete, to the ones who are forgotten, whose children were murdered. She honored every aspect of the black woman that there was, or to woman, period. So I really like that video, and if you haven't seen it, go watch it right now. My time's about to run out. But if you have any questions, put them below. I'll try to answer them as fast as I can. All right, I'll see y'all later. Bye.